we're dealing with a stronghold that's been around, literally 300 plus years. I mean, dating back to the whole Willie Lynch and, coming to America in 1712 and, that whole enslaving the people mentality and us voluntarily, basically giving of our time and resources and efforts, toward the greater good of another. And so it's important that we are aware of what slavery looks like today.
Correct. What does it look like today?
Well, we know it's no longer, working plantations and, working the fields and, being in the in-house and somebody in the out-house. However, the complexion of that has changed where now, of course, we have corporate America, we have, Wall Street and so forth, where, corporate America now is, being on the in-house and then being the self-employed small business owners kind of being the out-house type of thing. And so, and then also, when it comes to, of course, debt, buying our cars, buying our houses, and then paying, years in and years out in regards to interest, to the banks, the creditors, and lenders. So really, even as much as we're doing and accomplishing in terms of our education and our positions and occupations and things like that, we make all of that money to ultimately give it right back to the 1% in this country. And so thus, it's just a modern day slavery. Not to mention Wall Street and how we funnel our monies to the corporations, for the corporations' benefit. And oftentimes at the end of the day, with all of our trading and things, we have a pittance, of monies available for us, to live off of. And so we have to understand that we deserve those monies, that we have to snatch back, our cash flow, and that we have to put it to better uses, for us and our families.
Credit score. Why is that so vital in our society?
Well, understand that, for the last 5 years, I was in the lending industry, and perhaps I can back up a little bit because you did ask me about, to tell a little bit about myself. So just understand that in my background, I went to school for architecture, 14 years of management. I was in insurance, financial services, and then again the last 5 years in the mortgage business. Okay, and so being in the lending industry, especially in this last decade, credit scores have become more important than ever before. I mean, there used to be a myriad of variables that would take consideration before, where now it's just very cut and dry. And having superior scores, 700 plus scores, really allows people to, again, leverage the banks, the creditors, and the lenders. Really anything under that, puts people in a position of hoping for the best. I mean, there's, even for the 700 plus score, borrowers these days, they still have to produce a lot of paperwork to get the houses and sometimes the cars that they're looking for. But it's just a show of character. It shows reputation. It shows credibility in terms of, and it transfers over to the business environment, because if you're looking to launch out in business, then your person has to be the grantor for any loans or lines of credit that you get in business. Okay. And so it's and that, of course, as you know, I mean, now, before, the credit would be pulled, for apartments and for insurances, but now, I mean, your credit's being pulled for even employment. And the way these online dating sites are, it could possibly be pulled for dating purposes too.
Okay. And they're doing that. They're doing that. Correct. They're requesting some of that. You have ladies that's going, well, guys are doing that as well.
Yeah.
Checking out the credit score.
I mean, it's very important, because, I mean, if you've worked your buns off to establish a 720 score, knowing that you're in a position to make moves and maneuver however you desire, and then you have a mate who has done a poor job, with their credit. Well, first of all, you guys are not on the same level playing field, meaning your viewpoints are totally different. And so it's important for that other person to come up to where you are, because again, that's involving money. Credit is nothing but a variation or derivative of of money.
Can that individual be changed? The one that has the lower credit score. You know what I'm saying? Can he be changed, or should he be denied because of the fact of his mentality on his credit score?
Well, I mean, you made a big point in that it's all about teachability.
Correct.
It's all about teachability. And so if a person desires to change, right, then of course you don't push them under the rug or dismiss them, right? I mean, you train them, you teach them. But if a person is basically defending their position in terms of why things are, or even excusing their position,
Correct.
well, I mean, that's going to be a major conflict, because in the world of money, it's that's something that a couple or even business partners, they have to be on the same page with.
And that's where Rodney Archer comes into. Your main objective is to educate that person into getting that mind frame.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, there is so much available to each of us. There is so much more we can do in our lifetime. And we know that finance is a big piece. I mean, our wealth or our status in regards to the amount of money that we have, enables us to do the things that we want to do. From where we travel in terms of our vacations, to where our children attend school, to what side of town we live on, to the cars we drive. I mean, it affects every area of our life. And I'm not here to say that money is the end result of a thing. All I'm saying is that it's a tool. It's designed to be used, but we have to understand how to effectively use that tool for our best benefit.
Correct.
And not to be used by that tool.
Owning everything. Has it launched yet?
Paul, we're still in the building phase, and so we are fortunate enough to have locked down an investor. It's been about a year and a half, pursuing that, but we finally have some investors on board, and so those funds will drop in June, and we will go ahead and build our website. And so we have a website, owningeverything.com, and it's going to be more than just an informational page. I mean, it's literally going to be an integrated system that's going to house a lot of the things that we are releasing and displaying to the American people. And so after the monies, we'll go ahead and build our website. It'll take us about 2 to 3 months to do that, and then we'll have a kind of a beta testing phase where we'll go live, and we'll have our community begin to engage the site and that type of thing. And it'll probably be around January of 2013 where we'll do a formal launch.
Who would you consider to be your audience?
Well, our audience is corporate America. It is basically the self-employed, the small business owner, the network marketer, the rejected network marketer, and even the unemployed. Demographic-wise, I would say from age 25 to age 55. And then income-wise from 30,000 to 250,000. So I would suggest the core, middle class as far as putting a label on it. But ultimately, people will identify, themselves based on their mindset.
Okay, you say the middle class. Can the lower class get educated in this type of financial aspect?
Oh, they sure can. Again, it really just depends on an individual's mindset in terms of what they're willing to learn. Again, oftentimes the difference between the rich and the poor is that the rich, will not settle for their present day circumstance, that they will step up to take responsibility for their future and will learn and make adjustments to make it happen in their life. Oftentimes the poor takes entitlements. and will accept their conditions as being final, as being permanent. And so, more so than it being, based on income, it's more so based on a mindset. So the person is poor because of settling in on their condition. Now, if that person chooses to not settle and say, no, I want better for myself, that regardless of how I came up, what my economic conditions are, I'm going to learn how to do better and be better, in my lifetime and for my children and children's children and things like that. So we don't discriminate, but we basically are saying, yeah, there's a target audience. However, people ultimately will identify who they are. Meaning there are individuals in the middle class that if they're not, some may be too arrogant. Some may say, well, look, I make 80,000, I make 120,000. You can't tell me nothing.
Correct.
You follow? And they can very well have a poor mindset, and they're thinking that the 50,000, 100,000 that they have in the bank, that's good enough. So we have to let people choose their own fate.
Okay, we're running short on time. What do you hope to accomplish with owning everything?
Well, our vision is to change the financial landscape of America for millions of people. And we want to do that. We want to literally touch millions of people in a 5-year time span. We want people to truly have and live the most out of life, and to understand that the rules of the game that they learn in regards to finance, that they can transfer that wisdom and that wealth onto their children and children's children, and that we can break the curse of lack forever.
Someone need to contact you. How would they go about doing that?
Yes, they can contact me at just info@owningeverything.com. They can check us out at facebook.com/owningeverything. And if they went to our owningeverything.com site right now, it's just a video playing there, but we will be updating some information. But info@owningeverything.com would be the best way to reach us. And if they put their email address there, then they will be added to our database, and we are sending out weekly newsletters.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rodney Archer, Owning Everything. Watch him. I see you're going to really blow up in this community. Thank you for, educating the community on your services. I feel it's an awesome thing.
Well, again, I appreciate you having me, Paul, and I commend you on your work here and allowing individuals like myself to come in and tell a story.
And that's what it's all about, educating and informing the community. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the show, and you be encouraged. Thank you.